Hey guys, thank you for checking out this JoMoCon community video. This is the first of what we're going to call Digipanel videos, where we just do something kind of cool, nerdy, and fun. You guys get to watch, maybe even learn something. And in this case, what are we doing today, Matt?
We decided to do an impromptu video on Butterbeer. Stuff made famous by Harry Potter, except not the stuff made famous by Harry Potter World. It is an actual recipe, and it comes from a recipe book from the 1580s?
1588.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like hearty, basically a meal in a cup, and I think it lives up to it.
All right, so we'll show you guys the ingredients we're using. Obviously get footage of us cooking it, the methodology behind it, and then our reaction to the end result. Maybe we should get to the ingredients first?
Sure.
So for this batch, we're gonna be using some beer from our very own Chaos Brewing here in Joplin. It is the King Cream beer. So it is higher alcohol content, 8.6% than your usual beer, although it does have a very light, creamy flavoring to it. So we thought it might be really good for the Butterbeer.
It's kind of a know your audience situation. So if they're down for brown ales, any of them work. If your crowd is into lighter beer flavors, look for a lager. Almost any of those will work because they're not really known for that super strong beer punch. It's using a standard Dutch oven. Any large pot will do, as long as it disperses heat, and your heat source really doesn't matter. So get that going, and first thing we need to do is slowly pour in the beer.
All right, which the recipe calls for 3 pints. Each of these is like 2 pints, so we're gonna be doing 1.5 of these, I guess.
And then enjoying the other.
And enjoying the other half on its own. Should I tilt it?
Yeah, we should tilt it.
You want to try to keep it from foaming if you can.
And the reason why we're starting with the beer is because while bubbles are nice, you kind of want most of the bubbles cooked out. All right.
So remember, 1588 recipe. It's not exact science here. Basically, just throwing everything into a pot and cooking it.
So next, probably want to do the ginger. Well, secret to peeling ginger: use a spoon. You can use a peeler, but a spoon works just as well for ginger. Comes right off. Really easy to work with.
And the recipe does call for 1 inch.
Super scientific, that 1 inch.
Yeah.
So if you like ginger, go with 1 inch. If you want a lighter ginger flavor, which it is really easy to overpower it with ginger, start with a 1/2 inch and scale up from there. Also, if you're using the dried ginger, which does work just as well, mix that in slowly because dried ginger is hydrophobic and it will all float on the surface unless you slowly integrate it. Super scientific, about a 1/2 inch. All right, and then we got 6 cloves, right?
6 cloves. 6 whole cloves. But nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon.
Okay, use whole nutmeg. All right, there is a distinct difference between the flavor of whole nutmegs, ground, and pre-ground nutmeg. That said, pre-ground nutmeg works.
So you're just kind of eyeballing the 1/2 cup, or 1/2 teaspoon. Ooh, don't do 1/2 cup.
Yeah. So next up we need 4 ounces of butter. Most butter comes with these convenient little markings on the side. Each tablespoon is 1 ounce, so we're just going to cut it in half, drop it in, and let it go. Here we go.
All right. Now in a separate bowl, we're going to be mixing like the egg yolks, right?
Yes.
Or whisking the egg yolks.
Yep. So first thing you need to do is separate your eggs. Crack it on the counter. Right. And then you'll notice that you have 2 parts of your egg. So what you're going to do is you're going to dump the yolk into the shell, and just like that, you have yolked your eggs.
There we go, 5 yolked eggs. So Matt, really quick, what temperature did you set the stove to get this really light, simmer?
Medium to medium low. You don't want it boiling.
Yeah.
You do want a good simmer, and as it begins to cook, the bubbles will fade away as it heats up. So Like you'll be able to tell when it's simmering. All right, so how much sugar do we need to add?
1 cup of sugar. So I'm not just simply hosting this thing, if even that. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna pour sugar.
Woo!
So Matt was saying keep it on low simmer. Obviously, if you bring it too high, you're gonna burn all the alcohol out. But if we did want to make this a virgin butterbeer, what do you do? Just boil it for like 5 minutes?
Longer.
Just simmer it even longer?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
And all scientific like, you're gonna pour it in without splashing.
All right, done.
You're probably gonna get some bubbles off of that if you do it early. So you're gonna want to whisk for this, more so in a minute than right now. But this is handy for making sure that the sugar doesn't burn to the bottom of the pan. If you scorch the sugar, you will taste it all through the beer.
It'll settle at the bottom of the beer for sure if there's chunks.
Yes.
So
even if there's not chunks, sugar doesn't float. But when you're cooking it and you hear it start to cook, you need to watch that and kind of keep the heat just a little bit lower. Looks like this. And if we're really, really quiet, we should be able to hear it. Lower your heat if you begin to hear that. Okay, so to get the egg yolks in there, you have to be very careful, and you're going to do a process that's called tempering. All right, when you temper the eggs, you whip them up, and you slowly ladle in your hot liquid into the eggs until the eggs come up close to the temperature of the liquid you're putting it back into. Then you roll that mixture back into whatever you're cooking. The reason why is because if you don't, what you'll do when you put in your egg yolks is make scrambled eggs.
So basically pretend your eggs are the new goldfish you bought from PetSmart, and you got to get used to the heat of the water you're going to put it into, or the lack thereof, I guess, with the goldfish.
All right, so what you're going to do first is kill your goldfish.
Never mind. All right.
And you're going to whip them up like you would scrambled eggs. All right, so we're just starting to hit a rolling simmer. Okay, so you're going to take your ladle, and you're going to get some of your butterbeer. Whisk vigorously. You want to keep this moving, and you're just going to slowly, slowly stream it in. All right, so if we pause and take a look, I got steaming eggs. Looks like I poured a little bit of butterbeer on the counter. All right, so now we're going to very carefully. Oh, that is tasty. All right, so now we're going to go to doing the same thing with our butterbeer, except we're going to reverse it back in. So slowly. Now, at this point, it's made. So if you want to kill the heat immediately and drink, you can. If you want to give it some time to integrate, you can. If you want to lower the alcohol content, just keep cooking it, and it will be kid safe and friendly. So taking vessel, taking butterbeer.
Definitely has that creamy effect, doesn't it? I can taste the ginger, but it's not too much. But then again, I like ginger, so we did do almost a full inch.
You did get to bite off the cloves.
Yeah.
You do. You get that brown ale feeling from
Chaos's King Cream.
The King Cream.
Right. I think this would be a really good drink for the holiday. Honestly.
It is a really good drink for
so
the holiday.
first off, you serve it warm. I mean, generally, and then I don't know. It's that ginger. I'm guessing it's the clove probably, and the brown sugar effect. Definitely has like some sort of holiday feel to it.
Yeah.
I'm really failing here, but you know what I'm
That
saying.
combined with the nutmeg, you definitely pick up the nutmeg, especially if you freshly grate it. The other thing, you get that nice kind of like eggnoggy flavor from the eggs.
Right.
And it all really does come together for just a really pleasant cup of cup of brewed adult beverage.
That's right. Yeah. So, well, Matt, thank you for brewing this up for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching.